Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
Tech wreck. Chicky.
Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
All right, Sanjay, it's Tech Wreck time. What do you have for us this week?
So listeners probably have realized I've been gone for a couple of weeks. And the reason why is we were traveling internationally. And so my tech wreck is actually related to something that we used while we were traveling internationally. Previously, I had recommended a pack-safe backpack as a very safe way of traveling and making sure you don't get stuff stolen from you out of your backpack. Well, we've kind of one-upped it and bought the pack-safe travel safe, which is a cut-resistant, corded with a security cable and a lock bag, essentially, that you can then leave in your hotel room or wherever you're staying and lock it to something to keep the stuff safe. So one of the things as we were traveling was like, well, what do we do with our passports? We traveled internationally. What do you do with your passports? And do you leave them in the safe in the hotel or do you keep them on you? Everything is risky, right? You leave them in the safe in the hotel. There are people that have access to those hotel safes. I've had that before when I've checked into a hotel and the thing was locked and the maintenance guy came and he punched in a bunch of numbers to unlock the thing. So it's like, well, it's a safe, but it's not really that safe. If you keep it on you, man, you can get pickpocketed, right? They can get stolen or whatever. And so the kind of general consensus nowadays is you should leave passports and things like that in your hotel room. But that,
really, I did not know that. I would not have expected that. Okay.
Because you should keep a copy on you in case it gets asked for. But, how do you keep it safe? So we bought 2 different sizes of these travel safes.
Right.
And I got to tell you, they work wonderfully. The material itself is thick as all get out. I haven't tried to cut it, but you could just tell this thing is not going to cut open very easily. Right. And it's got this security cable that wraps around the top and you kind of pull it through and then kind of latch it into place.
Right.
So you can't open the top of this thing if there's a lock that's locked on there.
Yep.
And then you just loop it around something. We would always loop it around our bags, and we actually carry another security cable. So we'd loop our bags around the furniture. So everything is tied to everything else.
So the house maintenance was like, what is up with these people? Like, is this like foreign espionage? Like, what is happening right now?
So you know what's funny is I'm well known as the security-minded individual on this podcast.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But that pretty much filters through my whole family. I was talking with one of our kids and we were walking by somebody's room in the hotel. The door was open because housekeeping was in there. Of
course.
And like all their bags were open. Everything was out in the open. And they were like, oh my God, they didn't put away anything?
Yeah.
Like all their stuff is just sitting out there. And I'm like,
yep. That's it.
And for us, this stems back to when it was just me and my wife. 20 plus years ago, we actually were staying at a hotel and somebody in the hotel staff stole a bunch of our stuff and threw out a bunch of, and we're like, this is not okay.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it's always been like, lock up all your things. If housekeeping is coming through, whatever.
Yeah.
So everything gets locked up.
I think you could have one-upped your security. And like, if you'd really thought about it, and what you could have done is you could have used like the travel safe thing and then duct taped it to your body, right? And so then like you're like double protected, it's not going anywhere. So
double secret probation right there. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
The problem is I have maybe just a little bit too much chest hair that duct tape on that would have been painful if
I feel like it would have been worth it for security purposes. I think you can make that sacrifice for security, Sanjay. I feel like
so I'm going to be I'm going to be Steve Carell on that movie. What was it? 40-year-old virgin.
Yeah, it was a real scene too.
I know. That he really had his hair ripped off.
Yeah, he really did.
You appreciate that scene even more after you realize that it was real.
It was totally real. Yeah.
And he stayed in character.
Yeah.
And he said all of those things in character. It's so impressive.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's right.
Okay, Adam, what about you? What do you have that we can duct tape to ourselves?
I'm going to recommend, it's called the Bark phone, BARK phone. I forget the website, Bark or whatever. But it's a phone for kids. And we got it for one of my kids. He was kind of reaching that age, wanted a phone. We didn't really want him to have like the full like smartphone access. And so basically with this phone, like you can literally turn off and on absolutely everything. Like we can control if the phone camera works or not from our app. We can control how long is on. We can control what apps he's on. We can put on like location monitoring and know what location he's at. Like we actually, it even monitors like text messages with various people. I mean, he can only text people that are approved contacts. And then it also monitors text messages with people and to let us know, is he getting bullied or are they using inappropriate language? And we get alerts to let us know, oh, he's getting bullied or he's using inappropriate language or whatever else. So it's pretty great so far. Like he's enjoying it. We got some little games on it. He's able to call us and text us and check in. And so he's getting sort of more autonomy, but it's a very, very controlled and safe environment. So it's a good kind of stepping stone into the next thing. And it's like, we've got basically the biggest package and it's $59 a month. And that includes the phone. And if you keep the phone for longer than 3 months, like that's the phone lease, quote unquote. But then after 3 months, it's your phone. Like you don't even have to send it back if you get rid of it. So, it's I think it's a Samsung Galaxy phone that they've modified.
I was going to ask, it was an Android phone.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And so it's been a great experience so far. It comes with a case, and you don't pay anything for the phone. It's just the $59 a month. And it's working out great so far. So, yeah,
how's battery life on that guy?
Seems to be pretty good so far. Yeah, like great battery life. It's a big phone too. It's actually bigger than my iPhone. I was like, what in the world? Like, this is pretty cool. So there you go. But yeah, he loves it so far. It's been great.
It's amazing how cheap tech gets over time, right? Like
wild, man.
You buy something and then a year later you're like, wait, that's so much better and it costs less than what I paid for this thing.
That's it. Every time.
You got me again. You got me again.